Hi everyone, Georgetown Soaps here. I am making my second batch of Lilac. This is the fragrance from BeScented, and florals are notorious for tracing, accelerating, ricing, behaving badly, seizing, all of the above. This one is fantastic. It's definitely a bestseller in my candles, my soy wooden wick candles, and it sells fantastic in soap as well. So I've just kind of pre-mixed my oils. I added my colloidal oatmeal, my kale and clay. I've got this great new little, I don't know what you call it, a little pitcher for, or I guess it's called a beaker cup for measuring out my oils, and it's the perfect size because I make a lot of 5-pound batches right now, and it will hold 3 ounces of fragrance oil. So it's perfect because I don't quite need 3 ounces of fragrance, but it's the right size and it's not overflowing. So I'm just going to go ahead and really mix in my dry powders, the colloidal oatmeal and the kale and clay, just to make sure they're fully incorporated into the oils and butters before I go ahead and add in the lye. And I've just added the lye water into my oils. I wanted to mention that I soap at room temperature, which means everything is cool to the touch. The lye water is, as well as all my oils. And I feel this really helps with not letting some of these fragrances accelerate or behave badly. So depending on the weather, I'll stick my lye water outside in the cold and it will cool down quickly, or I'll just pre-mix the lye water an hour before I really need it. Sometimes I'll stick a fan on it, put it in an ice bucket. Sorry about the angle here. I didn't realize that you couldn't really see the big bucket, but nothing exciting is going on. I just added in the fragrance oil, and you can see it didn't rise, it didn't accelerate. So I'm just splitting it out. I'm going to do 3 colors. I'm going to do Pretty Purple by BeScented. I'm going to do Activated Charcoal, and then Titanium Dioxide. So I'm going to get 3 colors in here, and I'm just trying to figure out my exact measurements for the different colors. And I am waiting. So I cut out about 10 minutes of this video because I'm sitting here waiting for the fragrance to set up because I want to have it a little bit thicker than what I had planned. So this is good news because the fragrance does not accelerate, it doesn't rise. It's super, super fluid. And as you watch all my videos, you know I'm just not a big stick blender. So sometimes I struggle with getting the batter consistent, a thicker consistency depending on what I am trying to do. And I've discovered that just staring at the soap batter does not necessarily make it thicker. So I'm just going to hand stir some of it, and then I just decided to go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a chopstick swirl, but you can see, like, and usually titanium dioxide will accelerate. Nope, super, super fluid. So it's definitely a good thing, which means you can go ahead and stick blend to your heart's content. As long as you're soaping at room temperature, you should be good. And I've got my mold. This is the sapphire mold from BeScented. I love it. It's super, super thick. It's durable. You don't have to line it. It's silicone, and my soaps pop right out of it. What I have been doing lately is I've been just sticking them in the oven without turning the oven on, and I've been letting just the natural heating up process from the soap saponifying. That seems to really work well for my recipe and my soaps. And so I can usually unmold. I have unmolded within 12 hours, but just to be safe, I typically do 24 hours, and usually I don't get around to it until 24 hours later anyway. So here I am, I'm just pouring these in. And if you go to the BeScented website, like right after you see this video, I believe she's completely sold out of this and the diamond, but I know she's got another order in for the diamond, and the diamond is the same exact mold. It's just a clear version. Doesn't matter to me. I use both of them. I've probably got 15 of these. They're my favorite molds. Just not very talented at lining the wooden molds. So while I love all of my wooden molds, they're so nice. These just tend to work better for me, especially if I'm going to stick the soap in the oven. So if you're waiting to order one of these molds, just make sure you're in the BeScented Facebook group or you're on the email list. And then I'm sure as soon as she gets them in, she will update everyone that they are back in stock. So, and here I'm just doing some plop and drop. The batter finally did kind of accelerate a little bit with the charcoal color, which is fine. So I'm just going to keep pouring. I'm going to do a little chopstick swirl, and I'll be right back. And now that I've got my soap kind of all set up, I wanted to demonstrate how these sprayer bottles work. You can use these sprayer bottles for either glitter or micas, and I'm going to use purple since this is the lilac colored soap, lilac scented soap, and I use purple. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is the little mini funnel. This is what came in my mystery box for the month of May. Not the glitter necessarily, this color, it was red I believe, but I had the purple glitter and I just hadn't used it because I didn't have one of these sprayers. So it goes in really easy and mess free with the little funnel, and then you just kind of stick the top on and then you just keep pumping it, and it comes out really fine. So you would have to really put several layers on in order to kind of mess it up. So you can't really add too much. But there it is with the top, and then you just kind of spray it on. I guess I decided to give you guys a zoom in just so you can kind of see the glitter. It's hard to get the whole soap in at a zoom, but you can see that the glitter goes on really fine. So you're not going to get too much. I usually do a couple layers, just kind of go back and forth with it just to kind of get a nice even coverage, and just make sure that the top of the soap's got enough glitter on it so that each piece is even. And there is the finished product. It's setting up nicely, so I'll pop it in the oven. Here we are 24 hours later. I'm going to do the cutting. Super happy with how it came out, and this soap smells really good right as you're cutting it. Sometimes the soaps don't smell fantastic as you're cutting, and the scent comes through a little bit later. But there we go, and I was just super happy with the design. You know, some thicker swirls. But anyway, enjoy the rest of the cut, and thanks for subscribing. I will see you on the next video. Enjoy!